everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris, and today I am outside taking a little bit of a break from my gardening, and I want to talk to you about some essential bike skills for preppers. And one of the most essential skills of those bike skills for preppers is being able to work on your bike, even if it's just minor repairs. For me, and when I say bike, I mean bicycle, not motorcycle. I know some people refer to motorcycles as bikes, and that's obviously wrong. Duh. So for me, biking is a big part of our fitness. It's a big part of our just outdoor summer fun, but it also plays a part in our plan for if we needed to bug out. And depending on what's going on, a car might not be the best option, either because cars aren't working, or maybe gas isn't available, or maybe just the roads are too congested. We have a bike rack. A lot of times, not so much these days, but last summer for sure, the bikes were pretty much always on the rack. And so if for whatever reason we were out someplace and we needed to get home, our bikes were definitely a way that we could get home fairly quickly. But in order to be able to do that, you need to be in good enough shape. Well, I guess one, you have to have a bike. You have to be in good enough shape to be able to ride that bike however far you need to go to get home. You also need to have some essential bike skills so that you're comfortable and competent and skilled enough on that bike to navigate through traffic and crowds and rough terrain and whatever so that you can get home. And there's a good chance that you may need to do some repairs somewhere along the way. And so I have a bag that each of us carries. We've got a little backpack, and I'll talk about that in a separate video. In this video, I really just want to talk about this, which is my toolkit that I carry. And this is kind of a big toolkit compared to what maybe some other people carry in their bike kits, but I like it. It's an old GPS or camera bag or something like that, so it's got a belt loop so I could even just attach it to my belt. I normally just keep it on the bike. I have like a little console pouch, and I just stick that in there. My cell phone also gets into it, my keys, all sorts of things like that. Just makes it easy, hands-free navigation and whatnot. And so everything I need to do most repairs fits in here. And I'm not talking about just flat tire. I'm like all sorts of repairs. Last summer, I spent a lot of time and money collecting tools and knowledge and skills on how to repair and maintain our bikes. And I think that was very much time well spent. And so I'm going to share some of that with you. Something else that will make your bike repairs a little bit easier, but not really necessary, is a bike stand. This one's made by Bike Hand, which I found on Amazon. And compared to some of the other big name brands, like everybody loves Park Tools, like that's the name in bike repair. But Park Tool comes with a pretty hefty price tag. And there's also Feedback Sports. There's, I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Topeak? I actually like that company a lot. I've used quite a bit of their stuff, and I liked it. Pedro's, all these different companies. But Bike Hand, it was really expensive. Inexpensive. I'm talking like half the price of the bigger name brands. And I've used a few different bike stands, and this thing worked great. It works absolutely great. I'm not going to make this a full review because I just don't think there's a ton to say about it, but this is metal. This is pretty, I've had this thing for about a year now. This is metal. It's very sturdy, fairly easy to clamp your bike in here, holds it pretty secure. This is I'm not sure what kind of plastic it is, but it feels very heavy duty and tough. It's got a little tray here that I can set things down. I've got no complaints, especially for the price. I've got zero complaints. The legs fold up to make it easier. I brought this out of my basement, without minimal effort. It's not heavy. There's really, unless you are a professional bike mechanic, in which case you've got no business watching this video. I'm not going to be able to teach you anything. There's no reason to spend more than this. And having a bike stand does make things a lot easier to work on your bike. So let me put Nate's bike on here, and I'll show you what's in the pouch. All right, so all you have to do is loosen this up like so. You can adjust this angle. So right now it's at kind of this weird cockamamie angle. And so just loosen that there. And I'm just going to adjust it to be like straight up. There. And what I like to do is I just put, see, can you see this? I clamp it onto the seat, but in order to do that, you have to loosen it up. Nate likes the seat pretty low. And so I bring it pretty much all the way as high as it'll go. But so that I don't have to try to readjust and measure over and over again every time we do this, I put some black electrical tape here. So I put the seat to the height where he likes it. And then wherever that is, just wrap a few layers of tape there, and then you've got a little stopper. You know, so that's just like a quick little tip to make things a little easier. Also, if you have some grease, it's nice to put that on the stem as well, because it kind of helps, you know, keep that nice and lubricated so it's easy to adjust. Right. And then just, whoopsie, pick it up. This is the only hard part, but honestly, this is kind of hard with any of the stands. You gotta kind of, especially doing it by yourself. And now the bike is up off the ground, so I don't have to be bent over to work on it. It's like right at eye level and just like a comfortable standing height. I can turn it as need be. You didn't put it in there too tight. And the best part is you can move the pedals freely and kind of see what's going on. So you probably hear that noise. And so I've actually done some work on this bike in the past, and I removed the front shifter here. And so Nate's chain was slipping, and he put the chain back on. And so because this part no longer shifts, it has to stay just on the middle gear. And so when he put the chain back on, he put it on this inner gear, which is causing it to rub against here and probably make the chain slip even more and just making that noise, and he really doesn't like it. So this is a really simple fix. I'm just going to loosen that up here and move that onto the middle ring. Oops, I got that. Yeah. There we go. On the middle ring, and there we go. And lo and behold, the noise has stopped. This chain's a little bit dirty. I'll probably just wipe it down and put some fresh oil on there, and that should be good. Now, his brakes are not in the best of condition. It's not so much that the pads are worn out. It's just that he's fallen, and he's not the most gentle with this thing. And a lot of times he'll just throw it down. And so, let's see. This also isn't a super expensive bike, so the parts aren't exactly super high quality. So these posts and things like that are kind of bent, and there's some damage and things. So his brakes can be a little bit stiff, but they work. He hasn't had any issues stopping, so at least not from the rear. And then I recently got a new bike, so he has been getting some of the components that are maybe in better shape off of my old bike and putting it onto his. Here's his light, his little rear light. So we like to go night riding sometimes, and he just keeps that there. I don't know why he puts it there, because a lot of times it turns and then it's like hitting this and annoys him, and we got to stop. But I let him do his thing, you know, however he wants to do it. What else was I going to do here? Now, he was complaining there was some sort of issue with the shifting. So let's just go through here. It seems like his chain was slipping when he shifted gears. And so I suspect that maybe something is out of alignment, and when he gets up to this gear is maybe where it's falling off. That's what I suspect. I don't know for sure, but let's try it out and see what happens. See, I just clicked, but nothing happened there. And I jump to yeah, so something's definitely off in this alignment. And so what's probably happening here is either this is, let's see, where, can you guys see this? I can't see the screen right now, so I don't know what you're seeing exactly. So what happens is as you shift gears, you see this moves in and out. I don't know, can you see that, how it moves? Where's the camera? Not there. So that moves in and out to get you into the different gears as you shift. But, so now this is all the way as far as it can go, but it's not on that last ring. And then when I went up to this gear, it would go past that. So that's what's causing it to jump. This either has gotten bent from one of his falls or just throwing his bike down when he was done riding it, or one of these screws has come loose, which seems more unlikely, but something's off. And so I'll have to screw around with that, and that usually takes a little while, so I'm not going to make a video of that. But that's the kind of repairs that I'm doing here. And this is something that maybe you wouldn't do this on the side of the road, but at least understanding what's happening, you can say, okay, well, if it's an issue with the gears, then you know which gears to maybe stay out of until you can get it fixed, till you can get back home or whatever. You know, things like that. So just work on your bikes, figure out what's going on with them. There's a ton of YouTube videos. That's how I got a lot of my information. But I also found like a bike co-op where they offered free classes, where they had tons of tools and people to help you, and you just bring your bikes in and they would help you repair them. And that was an amazing resource. I haven't been able to do that this year. I definitely would, just because of the coronavirus and everything. A lot of things are shut down, and you know, it is what it is. But fortunately, I got that information and I got the tools last year so that I'm able to do this stuff. The other issue he has is somehow he was able to break this. Or not break it, but it's pretty bent. And this is what holds his front brakes. It's like, I guess not the caliper, but whatever this is. And so now this isn't really going in here all that well. It's pretty bent up. And so I can either try to rebend it back into place, but I think what I may do is perhaps take this off of my old bike and put the new one on. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, his bike is in pretty decent condition still. Last year, I gave him an upgrade to his shifters and his handlebars. I can't remember if I did a video on that or not. I think I just posted to Instagram. He also somehow broke his bell. So I got a new bell for him. Well, actually, I got a new bell for my new bike, and he's going to get the old bell for my old bike. It's the exact same one. I actually like this. It's by Nutcase. I got it from REI. It's $10. And I like it because it's just so small and it has a really nice, pleasant ding. It's like, I just think that's a really pleasant sounding ding. So that's why we get that one. So those are just some of the little upgrades that he's gotten and what I'm working on today. So I'm going to end this video here because it's actually getting a little bit long, and I will go over this pouch and what's in it in the next video. But the main point here was learn how to work on your bike. It's a really important skill to have for cyclists in general, but especially if you plan on using your bike as a prepping tool, a bug out tool. You really want to know how to at least do the minimum basic repairs that you can just keep, so you can keep going in case something happens. And chances are something will happen. If you're putting the miles in the thing, you're going to need to do some basic maintenance repairs at some point. So like and subscribe if this is helpful to you. I am going to try to put out some more videos about like basic repair and maintenance and some skill building and whatnot. So hit that notification bell so you can get notifications when those videos come out. All right, I will see you guys in the next video, which I'm going to record in just a minute here.